All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and all those in the chat and listening at home. This is a brand new
Mm.
episode of the Pink Buzz, and this is a big one. I'm really excited about this one. Tonight we got a really cool guest. Why don't we just let him introduce himself? Hello.
Hey, hey, Johnny. Hey, Joe. Yeah, it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah. So we have Colin Lorimer in the house tonight with us. Uh, I see there's already a few people in the chats who know Colin's work very well. Norton is a big fan of yours. I see Cookie's in the chats as well. Hello, Cookie. Thanks for tuning in. So we have Colin here. If uh, some of you aren't familiar, Colin works in comics. He's worked in animation. He does storyboards. Pretty much any kind of form of media that requires illustration work.
Gorgeous art. Yes.
Beautiful work. His latest comic that released, I think, a year ago or just over a year ago, from Dark Horse was Daisy. So that's his last thing that dropped for comics that you'd be familiar with. And his latest thing that you might have seen, he did storyboards for the HBO series The Last of Us, which turned out to be a huge hit for HBO. And Colin worked on that series for HBO, doing the storyboards.
Speaking of which, I also saw that on your LinkedIn that you worked for Naughty Dog as well. Did you carry over from the game series to the show? Did you also work on the Last of Us games?
Yeah, I'm working on their latest Last of Us game now,
Okay.
actually.
Oh,
Yeah, and they're doing a multiplayer
oh, okay.
Last of Us standalone game for the Last of Us. And after or during working on the television show, Neil Druckmann gave me a call and asked me if I wanted to jump on uh, with him on the video game, designing some stuff for the video game and doing storyboards. So I was delighted, and I've been doing that for just over a year now, actually. So
Very
so
cool. So
it's
you're,
I'm pretty immersed in the Last of Us
yeah,
world
so I was
now,
gonna say you're deeply rooted in there.
deep
Yeah.
into it.
No,
Yeah,
no pun intended, right?
yeah. Well, it's funny because my son's a huge fan actually, and
Ah,
I used to
great.
watch him playing it back in whatever it was 2013, 2014.
Yeah, yeah,
And he was always telling me
yeah.
how wonderful it was. And I used to sit and watch a lot of the cutscenes and cinematics. And I think he was as surprised as I was when I was asked to jump on the show. Actually,
Mm,
so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I saw that you also worked on Peacemaker for HBO. You did some storyboarding for that, or?
I did. I did a couple of boards for that actually. Yeah, that was great fun. That was great fun, and it was almost like it was like finally getting to draw Judge Dredd almost. You know,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
so over the top. The violence was just insane. So
yeah,
it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. I only did
yeah.
one or two episodes for that though. With The Last of Us, I
Okay.
did pretty much all the episodes, bar the first two. Though I was brought back in. I think Craig Mazin brought me in to do some reshoots for one and two actually. But
Mm,
because originally it was 10 episodes, but then they combined episodes one and two into one feature length kind of movie. So yeah, um, originally brought on to work with Neil Druckmann to work on his episode, which was episode three originally, which became episode two,
mm.
and then from there I just went on from three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. So it was a big gig, and I was delighted that I'm very lucky to get to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember we touched face last year, and I was like, "Oh, would you like to come on the show?" We did an episode on The Hunt, which was
Oh
one of your other
right, yeah,
comics. Yeah, and you're like, "Oh,
fantastic.
I'm swamped." You know, you're working. I think you were working on The Last
I
of
think
Us at the
I
time.
was yeah, I was deep into it at that point. That would have been
Yeah,
about a year ago. You're right. So yeah, I
yeah.
think I was doing.
And then just recently, I have a friend from England who sent me a meal in the Sniffers, and then you're like, "Oh, I just went and saw them in a show recently and stuff," and so we started chatting again, and it just so happened that this month you had a little bit more free time, so I took a chance on trying to get you on again. And you're like, sure, man. If there's any time I could do it, it'd probably be this month. So it worked out great, and you're here, and that's fantastic, man. And
No, it's good timing. I'm flying off to Ireland on April the 1st for a
mhm.
couple of weeks, so I have a bit of downtime. over the next couple of days. So prepping for
Yeah.
that.
Mm. And
But I'm meeting the
when
sniff.
we're yeah, go
Sorry, but
ahead.
I'm meeting the sniffers. I have been trying to get to see her or that band for years actually, and I bought tickets for the first gig here in Vancouver, and I had to cancel because of work. And
Yeah.
then they came
Oh man.
again, and I had to cancel because of COVID.
COVID.
And then I finally got to see them just recently there, so which was a fantastic gig. I mean, they
Yeah.
were just great. She's an amazing fronts person, actually, just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Third time's the charm.
The third
Yeah.
time's the charm, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's when you we were chatting and stuff, and then you said, "Oh, check out the Sleaford mods," and I went and checked them out, and that's quite an interesting band. Uh,
They
they
are
just put out they put out
quite
an album
political,
what
quite political.
2 3 weeks ago, I think. They just dropped their new album. UK, what's it? The UK
Oh, UK Grim.
Grim, UK
Yeah,
Grim. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
their new
yeah.
album. Yeah, yeah.
Good
What
album. Yeah.
what kind of music would you call that? Like it's I don't
That's
know
a
if
good question,
I,
actually. I
I
guess
don't know if
it's
I'd call it hip hop, but it's definitely got hip hop flavor to it. Rap
yeah,
or
a little bit
yeah,
of rap, kind of post-punk, kind of, and yeah,
yeah,
that's a good question, actually. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
kind of, there's a bit of techno going on there too,
yeah,
actually, and the guy
exactly.
on the
Yeah,
keyboards, right?
yeah,
It's funny to see them live because the guy who does the music just dances in the background. He just
yeah.
presses the button, the music starts, and he's away basically. So it's a fun gig. He
Mm.
reminds me a bit of Bez from the Happy Mondays, actually.
Mhm. Yeah, so that was fun. I got to check that out. That was pretty cool. That was a good recommendation. Yeah, anyone who doesn't know who it is, definitely go check that band out. They're a
Yeah,
fun
you should.
listen.
You should.
Are they
Yeah,
Manchester? Since or where in the UK are they from? Do you know?
I'm not too sure where they're from,
No.
actually, to be honest with you. I'm not too
It's not.
sure.
They sound weird enough to be from Manchester, so I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I don't think they're from Manchester. I don't think so. I
Okay.
could be wrong on that, but there's another great
yeah.
band, the Fiagra Boys. Have you heard of those guys?
Yeah, the Viagra Boys.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! I went to see them 2 or 3 weeks ago, and one of the best gigs I've ever been to. Actually, just
Mm.
phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. So you get out to go see shows quite often then, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's
As
kind of
much as you
one of
can.
my
Yeah.
as much as I can. Yeah, I go and see a lot of concerts. Actually, it's
Yeah.
one of the things I do a lot of actually. Um,
Uh,
and I drag my wife along for her sins as well. Actually, a lot of the band she
yeah.
doesn't even know who they are, but she'll come with me just for the night out, I guess. And
Yeah,
thankfully
yeah. See,
she.
I always buy 2 tickets when I buy tickets for
You
shows, and I'm like,
likewise,
yeah,
likewise.
I'm like, okay, listen to this and let me know if it's something I can take you to. If not, I'll ask a friend to come with me, and
Yeah, yeah,
so I usually
yeah.
test it out first.
She went with me to the Fiagra Boys, and I was kind of surprised because I showed her some of the videos, and I thought, "There's no way she's going to come to this," but she did, and she thought it was great. She thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
So that
well,
was
that's
nice.
good. Discover new things that way.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you're originally from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, I see Norton there. Said he says he loves the Fiagra Boys. Yeah, he is Norton. I agree completely. Absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. Sebastian, I think his name is, isn't it? Sebastian Murphy, I think. He's just talking about the lead singer of
Yeah.
the Fiagra Boys, actually. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Good taste, Norton, as always.
Yeah. Yeah, Norton definitely has an eclectic taste in everything: comics,
Yeah,
music,
I noticed that from his Twitter
movies.
feed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. He's uh, great taste, great taste. Definitely picked up a few things from him from some recs that he's put out there, and yeah,
Mhm.
I, I dig his taste.
But
So
sorry, you were saying about where I was
yeah,
from, or
you're originally from Ireland, right?
that's right, from
Yeah,
the north of
and you
Ireland, actually. Yeah.
and we were chatting, and you said you moved here for a job, and you've been here for close to 20 years or a little over 20 years now. You
Yeah,
live in
I came
out
here
west in Canada.
yeah, I came here
Mhm.
in March 2000, to work on a TV show called Ed, Ed and Eddie,
Oh wow, you worked on Ed, Ed,
for
and Eddie.
Cartoon Network, and and it was great fun. I mean, the studio, the guys were fantastic. It was just a fun time, but the show just wasn't for me.
Okay.
So the kind of really, extreme kind of cartoony stuff doesn't really sit with me. Actually, it's a pity I didn't really realize that until I'd actually arrived in Canada. But there we go. So I resigned from that job after about 6 months, and I thought I was going to be flying back home. But I'd
Mhm.
sent off a couple of resumes and got picked up by a gaming company, and the gaming company kept me around for about 3.5 years, and that's what
See.
kept me here basically. Yeah. So just going
See,
from
I was
work
gonna put
permit to
money
work
down.
permit.
Yeah, I thought it was a girl that got you to stay here. That's what I was gonna put my money on.
No, 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 no. I was already married actually.
Oh, okay.
So
So
yeah,
you're already
yeah,
hitched
yeah.
before you came across.
Already hitched
So
before I came actually. Yeah.
so
I was
your
trying
wife
to
followed
escape.
you.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a
Yeah,
big
and she
move
fought.
then. Moving over with
It
the
was,
wife,
and
the
it was
family, and then
unexpected. Like originally, I thought I was only going to be here for a year, just on a work permit, and then
yeah.
once the gaming gig came up, um, uh, she joined me basically, and we've been here pretty much ever since. And it's been just gig after gig since that. So yeah,
Yeah.
Vancouver's been good
So
to me actually. It's been good to me.
yeah. Yeah. So you're really busy. Like I was going through your LinkedIn and like how do you like you have a few comics out and speaking of like the cartoony stuff, like it was too cartoony for you. You worked on a book called Curse with
Oh, with
Riley.
Riley.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and his style is more cartoony. So how did you vibe with that? Cuz you like you
Well,
said
his
your
stuff.
style yeah. Yeah.
Well, his stuff wasn't. I mean, his illustration style's really evolved over the last
Yeah,
five
it
six
has, eh?
years. Well,
Yeah.
quite a bit since Curse, and he's really found his style now. Really found
Mhm.
his way of illustrating. And yeah, I love his stuff. I think
And
didn't
he
he do
can
Wonder Woman or Tim Drake or what was his last one? Robin, was it? Did he do
He worked
Robin
on
or
Harley Quinn for a little
Harley
while.
Quinn? That's what it was.
Yeah.
And Martian
Yeah.
Manhunter as well. I think the
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
Martian
his
that
Manhunter
dude
Martian
is
was
Manhunter
crazy.
that he did
Yeah.
with Orlando was amazing. He can tighten up really good though, like
no,
even
he's
back
a
in the
really
day,
good artist. Yeah,
because like he
really
was
good
putting on
artist.
stuff like Green Wake and stuff like that. But then he did
Oh,
Debris
that's right.
with
It's with Curtis. That's right. Yeah.
yeah, and Debris, like it was night and day between like his other image books that he had out at the same time, and I was just blown away when I saw that, and that's what really kind of drew me to becoming like a huge Riley Rossimo fan.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I think with Curse he was still kind of in that kind of Green Wake kind of mode. It was kind of
Yeah,
like, semi-realistic. Um,
sketchy though at the same time. Yeah,
Sketchy,
but
yeah, yeah, but it was quite a ways away from where he is now. Actually, I think he's really found his thing, his style. So it's fantastic to see. Actually, yeah, I love his stuff. It's great.
Like I was saying, like so you worked on that with him. You've done quite a bit of comics work, but you also do a lot for television productions, games. How do you find the time to balance like projects? Like you put out Daisy last year. Like how do you find time to like make a comic while you're doing like all your TV stuff and your games and stuff like that? Like your schedule must be so hectic and that.
It is, but I'm pretty disciplined as an
Mhm.
artist, and I always have been, just working in different studio environments most of my life. But I mean, and Daisy was done over, I think, over almost a 2 year period.
Mhm.
So, I would work on it, and then I would work on some film stuff or TV stuff. So it was kind of a bit of back and forth with the film stuff and the comic stuff. It's kind of always been that way.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, comics is my first love, I have to say. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the thing that
that's
I've
good to
I've
hear.
always has been actually.
Yeah.
But as you say, I mean, anything to do with visual, with storytelling, I'm there. And I've been lucky with the TV shows and movies I've worked on, because I've got to work with some really cool people, and it's a nice balance too, because with the comic book stuff, it can be pretty intense because my style's quite detailed, and
Hmm.
and I put a lot of work into the comics. Whereas with storyboards, you can be, not all of them. Sometimes the director wants you to be a little more detailed, but I can be a little bit looser.
Loose,
So it's
yeah.
almost like, the storyboards are almost like my
Warm ups
would be
almost.
warm ups or my thumbnails that I would do for my comic books
Mhm.
to some extent. So
I can
so
actually see
it's
that when I was looking at your the storyboards that you had on your Instagram. I could see how that.
right, right. Yeah, you should see the Peacemaker ones. I'll just put those up. They're really rough. I mean,
Okay.
because they wanted them so quickly, so it was just
Okay.
like just whatever I could do to get them done.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I think it's nice too with the comic book comic book life. It's kind of lonely, kind of isolated
Mm-hmm.
life where you're just like stuck in an office, kind of just, especially when you're writing and drawing. So
Yeah.
it's, I
Yeah.
mean, I work with Joanna who colors, and Jim Campbell who does the lettering, but that's kind of the final stage. So with the film and TV, it's nice because I get to go out and go to sets and have Zoom meetings, and
Hmm.
it makes me feel a little bit more human
Yeah. Yeah.
to some
Get that.
extent.
Yeah. That interaction, that collaborative
Exactly,
effort.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Feel a little extroverted a bit.
Yeah.
exactly. I forget how to talk sometimes, actually.
Yeah. I could. Yeah. That's it. As I'm getting older, I'm getting more introverted, and my wife's like, "Come on, we friends invited us out for supper. We got to go." And I'm like, I don't know.
But
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
as I'm getting older, I'm getting into like a routine where it's like I'm good with my little things, and but
but
yeah. No,
speaking
that's
about Daisy though, do you have any plans of going back and revisiting that and taking that any further? Because I really think that that has some really good roots to go some awesome places.
yeah. I mean, I was actually asked by Dark Horse if I wanted to return to it, but I originally did it as a short story, 5 issues, and I'm pretty much going to leave it as is.
Kind of like with The Hunt. I appreciate that too. Like a good horror film will do that to you too. Like you always wanted a sequel, but if they did go back to it, like there's so much capability of it going wrong or something. So,
Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I put everything into it as well. It's almost, I
oh,
mean, that could have been a 10, 15 issue series,
mm,
because there's so much information,
yeah,
and so many ideas to get across, um, that possibly I think a larger series might have actually helped it to some extent, a bit more room to breathe.
mm,
But again, yeah, I had 5 issues, so I put everything I could into it basically, and I'm glad that some people responded to it well, and I thank you for that, Johnny. I appreciate that.
mm. Yeah. It was a fantastic series, and like you got that religious aspect that it touches on, and a lot of your stories have like that folklore. Like you dive into that a little bit, and I was just wondering, uh, is that something that was interest that you got into as a kid and it just stuck with you, or uh,
Yeah,
like
well, I mean, growing up in Ireland, I mean, it's part and parcel to some extent. I
yeah,
mean, as a kid growing up, going to Sunday school with Bible stories, I guess it started right there. I
yeah,
mean, that's the origins of Daisy with David and Goliath.
mm,
Um, but yeah, no, I have always been interested. Anything to do with religion
yeah,
piques my interest.
mm,
So yeah, for sure, for sure. And folklore, yeah, again, that's living in Ireland. You're surrounded by that
yeah,
basically. The Giant's Causeway is just up the road from me. All this kind of stuff. So it's hard not to be to
yeah,
um, to be informed by that stuff basically.
yeah. I love that. Like the Hunt, you had a lot of that folklore, and then with Daisy, you kind of had a little bit of both, right? A lot of the religious aspects and a little bit of folklore in there as well. I think you mixed a little bit in, and I loved it. I thought that was great with the story with the giants, and man,
with
that
the
was
Nephilim and yeah, the
yeah,
playing with
yeah,
the
it
we're
was
playing with kind of the Book of Enoch stuff. Yeah, that's always fun to
yeah,
get into.
yeah, that was great,
I
great stuff.
appreciate that.
Love that, and the
Yeah, it was
visuals.
actually
Oh,
yeah, I've been
so
reading
good.
into a lot of um, John Dee. John Dee was the he was the occultist, court
Okay.
astronomer. He worked. I think he was it was around the 15th, 16th century, and he was hired by Elizabeth I, and he got completely lost in, or he believed that that he was speaking to angels, and he created his own
Mm,
language, like the Enochian language. That's kind of where it came from. So that was kind of the stepping stone, and from
okay.
there it kind of led into Daisy basically. So yeah.
Huh. Cool. Cool. Yeah, because you had that kind of cult following type aspect of it too. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. Really, really good stuff. So, do you have anything in the works now, or have you been like just so busy with The Last of Us and all that that you haven't really gotten to touch on any comics? Are you working on anything now, or
Yeah, I'm working on another, strangely enough, another kind of folklore kind of tale,
okay,
which is probably closer to the hunt than Daisy. And
okay,
yeah, I can't say too much about it at this
no,
point. It's kind of
yeah,
early days, but
yeah.
I think you'll really like it. Its
Is
game's
that
pretty dark.
like when you're in these stages, you're just working on the story? You haven't thought of a publisher or anything like that by now, probably. Like, how far into Daisy did you get before, like, let's say Dark Horse is like, we're in, we want to publish this? Like, what's the process there? Like, how far do you get into, like, before it gets picked up by a publisher?
Well, for this one I'm doing, I mean, Dark Horse were pretty much in straight away. I just sent them the pitch, a one page
Okay,
synopsis, and they were sold on it.
okay, so
Um,
they're already okay. They're already on board. Nice.
they're on board. Yeah, I just need to get the thing done, basically, find the time
Yeah,
to do it.
yeah.
But I really do get immersed in the whole, just a lot of research, and
Okay.
like this one's set in the Middle Ages, so it's a lot of a lot of research has to be done basically to figure out kind of the clothing and the different uh, uh, how a village looked at that time and language and all this kind of stuff. So it's a lengthy process because I like to get that all kind of laid out in front of me before I dig too deep. So there's something a good base to build on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but there's a few other stories I have too that I'm working on, a few other pitches, which are looking good to go. But the thing is, it takes time because I'm a writer artist. I mean,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to finish one before I can jump into the next one.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I need to start
Uh,
hiring artists, I think.
yeah, that's what I was just about to ask. Are you thinking of just doing the writing and like handing off the art duties to someone else?
Because a
You
lot of
know.
big artists have been doing that lately, like Kristen Ward, Zardowski. Yeah, a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's something I thought about actually. I guess it's just finding the right person. I haven't actually really dug too deep, but I don't know. For me, I like the idea of being a writer artist. Having that kind of
Hmm.
control
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
product. But but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. For the next two, I think I'm going to do myself. But maybe, and there's another project that I'm looking into with another well-known writer, which should be hopefully hitting sometime next year. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, there's quite a few things on the boil actually. Um,
Because I was going to ask at how you got involved, because I'm an absolute fan of the TV show. How you got involved with doing the Prisoner with Peter
oh
Milligan at
wow,
Titan Books,
wow,
because
oh, I
that's some of
forgot
your
about
most
that one.
beautiful art, in my opinion. I just love the
Oh,
coloring and
thanks.
stuff in that.
Well, I was always a big fan of the TV show, and an editor from Titan, David Leach, contacted me out of the blue and just asked me if I wanted to do some covers for the comic Blacklist. Uh, James Spader, I think, is in the TV show. And I said, yeah, it'd be great. So I did the covers for the first series, and he asked me if I wanted to actually do the next series of the continuing series of Blacklist, whatever issue 6 to 10 or something. But I couldn't commit to it at that time. I think I was working on. I can't remember what I was working. I think I might have been working on The Hunt at that time. I can't remember. But then later on, he got back to me. He remembered me and he said, "Look, well, we have The Prisoner. Would you like to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And I think originally it was Pat Mills who was meant to be writing that. Pat
Oh,
Mills is,
Oh yeah,
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 2000 AD guy, right? So I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, for sure, big fan." But but then I think he dropped out and Peter Milligan took over.
Mm.
So yeah, but no, that was a fun one. I enjoyed that. I really did. And again, I had Joanna on board with me for that, Joanna Lafuente, to do the coloring, and she did, as always, an amazing job on that. So, but yeah, that was a fun one. That was a fun one, actually.
yeah, you guys nailed it. I mean, like the look of this show perfectly. It was gorgeous.
Mm.
Yeah,
Long.
and it
That's
was.
a Lafuente's a longtime collaborator with you, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I've been working with Joanna since, oh my goodness, 2014, I guess. We were introduced through the X Files. I did a couple of
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
like two issues of the X Files with Joe Harris and Denton Tipton, the editor. And I remember because at that time I'd been pretty much coloring my own stuff
Hmm.
um, with. I'm trying to think. I think it was. I think I did UXB, which is another book I did for Dark Horse,
Hmm.
and then it was Curse, and then I think Tamra Bonvillain come on, and she did an amazing job because I was. Oh yeah, I was doing Blackout. I was doing Blackout for Dark Horse as well, kind of a
Okay.
superhero book, and I was doing Curse and Blackout kind of at the same time. So I couldn't. So Tamra took over coloring duties on both, and just blew me away. And then I think after that, I was offered the X Files, and Tamra wasn't available, I don't think. And Denton brought in Joanna, and I remember just seeing when those first pages first came through, like her color choices were just amazing, just blew me away actually. And so every job I do, I try to get her on board,
Hmm.
um, because and even some of the film stuff I've done, um, some of the TV stuff,
Okay.
I've brought Joanna on board to help out on that too. So yeah, so it has been like I actually didn't realize it was since 2014. That's almost 10 years. My
10 years
goodness,
now.
that is
Yeah,
a long time. Wow.
it flies, eh? Hey, when
Yeah.
it's a good
And your
when you
guys'
work with
stuff shines
yeah,
together.
yeah, that's it. When you work well together, it doesn't seem like time just flies
No,
when you
exactly,
know.
exactly.
Yeah,
Especially in comics, anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, and with Daisy, I mean, like I have to give Joanna full credit. I mean, she really elevates the art. I mean, like it looks okay in black and white, but once she puts her touches to it, oh my goodness. You know, it's like looking at it for the first time. It's such a joy to see that, you know, what she does with it.
Hmm.
Because it's very rarely I'll give, you know, like swatches or color ideas.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever done that with Joanna. I think sometimes if I have a certain idea for maybe some of the covers, I'll say, well, maybe this could be yellow or this could be. But I just love seeing what she delivers, and it's always really surprising, and I'm always blown away by her work actually, and it's just a great thing actually. Great colorist,
Yeah, yeah,
great
yeah.
colorist, great illustrator too. Actually, she illustrates too. So
Huh?
yeah.
What books has she illustrated?
That's a good question. I think Transformers
Oh yeah,
she did for
nice.
quite a while. I don't think
Okay.
she's doing that now. I'm not too sure.
Mm.
And she did a lot of Boom books as well. I think we she came on board for um, Burning Fields that I did for Boom
Okay. Yeah.
in 2014, 2015. And I think she's been with them ever since. And to be honest, I can't remember the books that she's worked on, but I know she's worked on quite a few.
Yeah.
So she's in
Mm.
demand, and rightly so, rightly so.
Mhm. Better keep her busy so you don't
Yeah, well,
disturb your colorist.
yeah, I know. I would hate to lose her actually, to be honest with you, because it's she's kind of my crutch now. I kind of rely on her to make the stuff look good.
Yeah. Uh, but she seems pretty proficient, so
Yeah, and she's
Sure.
fast as well. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's it.
really
Hmm.
fast. It's just like I mean, when I color, like I spend for ages, like on a page. I mean, if it takes me a day to draw a page, it takes me a day to color it.
Hmm.
Sometimes depends on how detailed I want to get. Whereas Joanna can do that. I don't want to give away her scheduling and how quick she is, but she can like plow through that stuff rather
Yeah.
quickly, and do a better job than I ever could. So yeah.
I was interested the way you work. Do you work just traditional, or or do you do digital as well? How's your process? Like, how do you approach a book or even storyboards?
I went digital. I think 2009, 2010 for the first time. I bought myself a Cintiq because I think they were using them in the studios at that time, a lot of the animation studios. So I thought I would just try it. And friends were recommending it and saying how good it was. And I thought, there's no way this is going to work for me. I like the tactile kind of feel of paper and
Hmm.
pencils.
Hmm.
And then I tried it, and after a week, I was sold. So I'm all digital now, actually.
Okay,
From
so you got on
so
board pretty early then.
pretty quick. I mean, I'll still sketch every now and again, um, but yeah, all the comics, Daisy, storyboards, everything's all digital actually for the most part. Yeah, everything. It's very rarely unless I'm doing a commission or something.
Okay, yeah,
And then again, those take me forever too because I'm so used to the digital process.
yeah,
You can't just erase things or resize
yeah,
things on the
yeah. That's
fly.
it.
You have to redraw the entire thing or stick something over
Yeah,
the top of the page. So it's been a lifesaver, and it just makes you so much more productive as well. You know.
yeah, yeah.
But somebody said to me that I probably should start, within an issue, like a 22-page issue. I should try and a splash page do it traditionally, so you
Okay,
have something to sell or something to. And that's a good point, actually. It's a good point. But again, it's finding the time. It's
yeah. Hmm.
finding the time to do that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just so much quicker to go digital.
yeah. Because yeah, splash page. That's a pretty big piece, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, because I did a Death Dealer cover recently for
Yeah, I saw that.
Opus,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I think you posted it. Yeah.
a few people reached out and said, "Is that for sale?" And I was kind of like, sadly, it's not because it's digital, basically, right? So
Uh,
you can buy the print if you like, but
Yeah.
yeah, you could always do that. Some artists do
yeah,
that. They do like prints, like nice, high quality prints, and sell those. And yeah,
yeah. I mean, I've done a few conventions and I've sold some prints. It's kind of a nice way to get your artwork out there. People are interested in it, but yeah, I mean, it's something maybe I should look into is doing the odds because I even when I go to conventions as a fan and I'm looking through artist portfolios, there's nothing quite
yeah,
like seeing those original pages. It's
yeah,
just mind blowing. I
yeah.
bought quite recently Frank Miller's Sin City, the big oversized edition, artist edition.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Mm, mm.
And also the Dark Knight as well, the Dark Knight Returns. I recently picked that up too, and Year One, and just to see David Mazzucchelli's original artwork, just it's mind blowing, really mind blowing. So yeah, spending my money in all the wrong places or all the right places, I guess.
All right. Yeah,
All the
exactly,
right
man.
places.
Hey man, if you got it and you, I mean like that's not too extravagant and stuff in my
No,
opinion. You
it's
know what I mean?
not. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, the comic books and concerts. That's my two main
Now,
things.
so concerts that could get really expensive. I was like looking at this one, but it was a festival and it was 3 days. But like they wanted like for the three people to go, they wanted like $1,600. I'm just like,
Oh my god.
Wow.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you. I mean, I've never seen Bruce Springsteen,
Oh,
and I
okay.
and I am and I am a fan. I've been a fan for many years, and I went online to buy tickets, and I closed my computer. I cannot pay that. I just couldn't pay it. I was like, there's no way I'm paying that. And then my wife's seen him when he played in Ireland many years ago, and she says, "Look,
Okay.
this might be the last time you'll get to see him." So I went back online and I bought the tickets, but it's the most expensive tickets I've ever bought in my life. And of course,
Yeah,
those Ticketmaster fees as well, right? Just
I
blew me
know,
Yeah.
up
eh?
even
I
more.
just
So
Social Distortions coming to Montreal, and they're getting up there too in age. So I was like, but I don't think they even come close to like Bruce Springsteen prices. I think,
Yeah, no. I think Bruce
but
Springsteen, like you can pay almost 3 grand for tickets to see him, depending on
yeah,
where you want to sit.
oh well,
Like I don't.
like
I
like I
wouldn't
took
pay that much to be honest, but
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I wasn't thinking.
I seen some of those tickets going for some of them, and I was like,
yeah,
wow. I mean, I paid a fair amount, but no, I wouldn't. If
yeah.
it had been that, I would have just, yeah, I wouldn't
I think
The
have gone for
Social D, like maybe $300, something like that
Oh,
for
no,
him.
no,
Like
no,
that's
not
too
even
much.
close.
Okay.
They were like between 70 and $80 each, or $85
Yeah,
ticket,
that's a little
which
too
is all
much to
right.
see them, in my opinion.
It's a little hot, but that's Canadian, so like that's
Okay.
probably closer to 60
not too
bucks
bad.
US. Yeah, 60, 55 US. So
I
my
saw
wife's
them
like,
like
oh,
in
it's kind of up
2009
there,
for
but I
like
was like,
saw them in 2009 for $15, man.
Yeah, you see, I mean,
yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, I like the Viagra Boys was like about $30 or something a ticket.
yeah,
Same with
yeah.
like a meal and the sniffers, like 15, 20 bucks type thing, right? And
Mm,
that's kind of
yeah.
what it should be, right? Like when
For
you're
a
going to
punk
four
band,
or five
yeah.
hundred bucks, too much. Yeah, well, yeah,
But
exactly. But
it's like a feeding frenzy now. Like that COVID's over, people are like
yeah,
hungry to get
yeah,
out there and go see shows again. So they're cashing. A lot of these bands are just cashing in on people willing to pay a little more just because we went 2 years without any shows, and people are like, oh, a lot of bands missed out.
yeah.
Like
That's
older
true. That's
bands
true.
missed out those 2 years, so they're like, this is it. This might be the last time they come to my city, so I'm going to get a ticket, and that influences the prices a bit. So yeah,
True, true. Yeah, and I said to my wife after the after the we bought the Bruce Springsteen, I said, well, that's going to be it for this year. There's going to be we're not going to cut back a bit, maybe a few small gigs or whatever. But
yeah.
and then of course, Depeche Mode and The Cure hit, and
Uh,
she's a big fan of both. So I thought
oh,
I like The Cure myself. So I thought, damn it. So we paid
yeah.
for them. We got those as well, actually. So
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
I've heard
Cookie.
the Boss plays a good long show though, so like I hear that like he comes out a couple of times, so like yeah, you're gonna probably get a good
he
long show
better.
set out of him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he better
Cookie.
give me one of his guitars after the show or something. Actually,
Yeah, for that price. Yeah.
exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Cookie in the chats was she was looking into going to see Depeche Mode, and she was she tried a few different venues because she lives around New York area, and they're playing two different arenas. So
Right.
she was shopping around to see if she could find a better deal and stuff. But
Well,
yeah,
for two, I can tell you what we paid for those. For the Cure, I think we paid $380 for two
for two
tickets,
tickets, okay.
which isn't too
They're
bad. It's
yeah,
a
because
lot, but it's
like you could almost consider them a legacy band, right? They've been
oh, for
around for
sure,
so
yeah,
long, so that affects the price, right? They're getting
exactly.
older. They don't tour as heavily as they used to because they're older, and they don't need to because they've made their money, right? So they can. Well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of big
A lot
artists,
of
they can
bands
go
still put
bankrupt.
out albums, but like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if they're okay, like you're never gonna hear songs off of them when they play
yeah,
live. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing like a live concert actually. Just being in that
Oh,
room, kind of. There's nothing like
yeah.
it. I mean, it's one of the greatest
so I
experiences,
kind of
right?
understand
So
when older bands just like will play live shows
Four.
instead of putting out albums.
Wow. $400 for one ticket for Depeche
really,
Mode.
for Depeche, well, we paid.
That's US. That's insane.
Oh, that's US as well. My goodness.
Yeah,
No, we
cookies around New
for
York. Oh my god.
Depeche Mode, we paid again 400 for two tickets.
Okay, that's
Close. We're not on the floor. I usually like to be on the floors, but we're
okay.
all actually on the seats just behind. So
Okay.
it's which is fine
Hmm.
because I think the floor seats or the floor tickets were like about were that price 350 400 actually, but 400 US.
For
That's for
one,
one ticket. That's one ticket. Oh
I'm
wow,
Yeah.
assuming one, or is it the pair? I'm not sure, but 400.
that's a
Wow.
lot.
Maybe that's a pair because often when you go on Ticketmaster, it's always the price always comes up for two, right? Can you buy just one ticket off Ticketmaster? Must be.
Yeah, you
Um,
like they can't make you buy two tickets
Because
if you're just
every
gonna go to
time,
the show by yourself. You got to buy two tickets, sir.
well, you
every
know what?
time
It's kind of funny because what was I think it was The Cure, and I was trying to buy two tickets, and it was floor tickets, and I picked two which were no, they weren't close to the stage. They were like a good few rows back, but they were close enough. And it's they said I couldn't buy the tickets because I was leaving one seat empty, and I was like, what?
oh,
So they wanted me to buy
yeah,
three tickets when I only needed when I only needed two.
yeah,
I didn't get that. So I had to go back and pick a seating arrangement that had four seats and pick
okay,
two that left two basically.
okay. I was
So
just wondering, yeah, yeah,
Oh wow.
it's weird, but you
yeah,
should. I mean, you can just buy one. I mean,
yeah,
I've went to
okay.
only a few concerts,
I
so
don't know. I've never
concerts.
bought just one ticket because when I go on Ticketmaster, it automatically comes up two tickets, right? Like, I don't know if
You're
that's like a
right. Yeah,
preset.
you're right. It does.
So
It
I've
does.
never
You're right.
actually
You're
tried to
right.
say
You're right.
less or one. I've always bought two. So I was just wondering. Like, I've never, yeah. So
That's
I
a
was
good
just
point. Yeah, but
curious.
I mean,
Yeah.
the ticket prices. I know Neil Young was talking about that recently, and then the Cure as well weren't happy about the extra fees and stuff. So I
Yeah.
think they give some
Yeah.
people a bit of a refund, but yeah, it's just
Yeah. I don't know.
astronomical. And then the
Yeah.
scalpers, like
Ugh.
and crazy because I was looking at some of the Springsteen tickets, yeah, and they were like 2.5, 3 grand US, and it's
Mm.
just like, my God, who is going to pay that?
Someone will. Yeah.
Someone will actually, yeah, yeah,
If they're
yeah.
selling them for that price, it's because they probably know someone will probably
Well,
pick them up.
didn't he cancel a concert recently? Didn't he? I think he canceled recently because of
Oh,
illness or something.
I would be pissed.
I know.
Yeah, because you think, right? These scalpers are reselling these, and the artists aren't getting a single dime of this, right? So
Yeah, that's what I wondered with the
it's
scalper.
not like,
With a scalper, you're not going to get your money back, right? I don't think so. Once you buy that, I don't know how that works
well,
actually.
you maybe you could get it back, but you're not going to get the scalper price back. You're going to get original
Exactly,
sell
Yeah,
exactly,
price,
because
right? If
exactly.
you can, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're right. They're still selling the original tickets. You probably will get your money back,
yeah,
but not.
uh,
You're right.
a
Not with
fraction,
all that
yeah,
added
just a
stuff that goes
fraction
along
of
with
it,
it.
yeah, yeah.
but
Say hi to Chris
that's the
in the chats. Chris Evans is in the chats. How's it going, Chris? Sorry.
problem people are having with Ticketmaster is they're actually like doing worse than the scalpers for themselves with their resale thing that they have on their website, from what I
That's right.
understand, because
That's right.
they
Yeah.
actually
Well,
because
there's a
they're trying.
lawsuit, right, for that
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Taylor Swift fans are raking their asses over the coals over it, man, which is
Oh,
good.
really?
I'm surprised that like yeah, it's because like Pearl Jam tried, like a lot of bands have tried over the years, but like nobody's gotten as far as the Swifties, man, which is just kind of funny to say.
Mm.
Yeah, like
Well,
yeah,
yeah, like I could see how artists it annoys them, right? Because not not every fan is rich. A lot of fans,
Of course
we
not. Yeah.
have normal jobs that we can't afford to pay 3, 4, 500 bucks a ticket, right? And they want to be able to offer their live performance, like you said. There's nothing like a good live show. And if you're pricing people out that love your music and want to go see it, and there should be cheaper tickets available for people that all levels of
Of
budget,
course.
depending
Yeah.
on
Of
what your
course.
budget.
Of
And these
course.
scalpers come in and just price everybody, like a large portion of the fans out, and it's sad, really.
well the brand
But
Ticketmaster himself were doing it like they weren't actually selling the tickets, they were just taking them, flopping them onto the secondary market, and then selling them at scalper
right.
prices
Right. Mm.
right when they went on sale. So like it wasn't even having at this point like the scalpers aren't even the problem, the actual business itself
And
was
I have
doing it.
I have to say I'm not a big fan of the big stadium gigs either.
No,
No,
no.
no.
Because I mean, if you do want to get cheap tickets, you're going to be stuck up on the cheap seats type thing, right? On the
Yeah,
and and even then, they're still maybe $120 basically, right? So
about that,
and
I'd
you're
say. Yeah,
you may as well be sitting at home because you're just looking at the video
the big
screen.
screen. Yeah.
It's because I went to see I had to see Black Sabbath, so
Okay.
I their last tour or whatever, and just last minute bought some tickets, and I was stuck right in the back, and it was horrible. It was just horrible.
Yeah.
Um, they were like ants on a stage kind of thing. I mean, the sound was okay, whatever else, but Yeah, I mean, for me, I need to be on the floor. And I like smaller gigs too,
Yeah.
where I can kind of get close to the stage and actually see the band performing, basically,
Mhm.
right? Those large gigs just don't do it for me. But I mean, sadly, with Springsteen and The Cure, that's the only place you're going to see them,
Yeah,
right?
they're stadium bands or arena
Exactly,
bands. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I got just recently in March. I went to go see Mets in Quebec City,
All
and
right.
yeah, it was a small venue, 200 capacity, $30 a ticket. It was great, a fantastic show. Really small place, and usually Mets will play like a medium-sized venue,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
theater or auditorium type thing, like a what, probably between 1,000 to 5,000, depending on where they are and what they're playing. Like they'll probably play any kind of venue like that. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've went to see Nick Cave a few times, and he's the same actually. He usually goes for smaller venues, and it's just more intimate. You feel like
Hmm.
you're getting more for your money to some extent. But
Yeah.
um,
And for the band too, you're closer to the fans. You don't have the gate with that area between the stage and the gate. I could see how some bands enjoy it more. You
I
get
think
closer
so.
to the
Yeah,
fans. It's more
exactly.
intimate. Yeah. Yeah.
More involvement with the fans, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Good
But
stuff.
there's a place in Vancouver called the Commodore Ballroom, and that's where I seen the Viagra Boys, and it was packed to the hilt,
Mm.
and those guys were just wild, and it was just a
Mm.
fantastic crowd, and everybody was loving it,
Yeah.
and just so much energy in the room. But when
Yeah.
you're kind of at such a distance or up in the cheap seats, it's like I don't know. I mean, you can't move for a start because I mean the way it is in Rogers Stadium, especially. I mean, the seating is horrible.
Mm.
Because you're so high up, you're at this kind of incline, and you feel as if you're going to fall at any moment.
Yeah.
So
They
it's
can. Yeah, they make it pretty steep at
yeah,
times,
it's
right?
and
Mm.
they pack you so tight like sardines
Mm.
in there. So it's just not a very
Yeah.
enjoyable experience.
No. No.
But and that's why I always go for the floor. At least with the
Yeah.
floor, I can move around basically. And
Yeah. 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 $30. That's why I was surprised when I saw the tickets and everything. I was like, and I'd never been to this place where I saw the Mets, and when I got there,
mm,
I was like, man, it's like this is the place. It was so small. Yeah,
right,
so yeah, it was awesome. I was like, damn, and it was great because every hit of the drum, like every time you pounded the drum, you could feel the vibration, like your clothes vibrated, like the wind, right? Like every time you could feel it on you. It was great. It was fantastic.
well, I remember there was I can't remember the name of the pub, but there was when I was in art college, there was a pub we used to go to, like a student pub, and they used to have live bands, and they had. Do you remember? Have you ever heard of Therapy?
Yeah, it sounds yeah.
Yeah, Northern Irish band.
Mm,
So
Yeah,
they
back
were
in the
playing one
90s, hell yeah.
back in the
mm,
'90s, yeah, and
mm.
I was right at the front, right at the stage, and I got hit by the bass player, hit me in the face with his bass, basically. I mean,
Oh,
by accident, he was kind of swinging around, and I kind of went flying. So that's probably the closest I've ever been to a live band, actually.
uh,
Good
did
old
you
days.
lose any teeth or
No, I didn't. I didn't. I
no?
didn't. I didn't. But I don't remember too much about that
No.
gig, to be honest with you. I was probably pretty out of it at the time too. So
Uh, so
who knows? Maybe I was trying to climb on the stage or something.
yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
so so some beverages on top of a concussion. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah. Uh, uh, it's fun. I've been trying to get out to more shows now, and I've been loving it. It's been really fun.
What's some of the shows you've been to of late?
I went and saw Lagwagon recently. I went and saw Drug Church, Scowl, the
Mhm.
Bronx, and the Chats were all on one
Oh, the
one
Chats.
bill. The Chats, yeah.
The Chats are fun,
Wow.
actually. Yeah, another Australian band, right?
Yeah, yeah. Those guys, man. Woo. They put they jacked the tempo up quite a bit
Yeah,
compared to
they
the
have a bit of
albums.
an AC/DC vibe. I think they have a song about AC/DC as well, don't they? I think I'm sure I've seen the song where they're kind of paying tribute to them actually. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're fun actually. Yeah, they're
Mm,
pretty wild.
yeah, so that was a good show. Who else did I go see recently? My wife. I went and saw a show with my wife for Florence and the Machine.
Oh, likewise. Yeah, I did the
Yeah,
same actually. Yeah, my
yeah.
wife
When she
wanted to
was
see
on
it,
tour, she loves them. So, and I
and
dig
it was
it.
good. It was really good.
She's
Yeah, it
good.
was really good. Yeah, yeah,
I like her stuff, and she puts
yeah.
on a great
Likewise.
show.
She
I
does.
saw
Fantastic
She
show.
Sloane
does.
too.
Oh, I saw Sloan. Yeah, exactly. Sloan. Where I saw their warm up show that they did when I was visiting my
Nice.
mom in Prince Edward Island.
Oh, nice.
That was an interesting show because they didn't have an opening band, so they did like a set.
Right.
Then they took a 20-minute break and they just sat around in the crowd with the crowd and just
Nice.
visited. Then they got back on stage and did their second set. So
Wow.
that was interesting. Yeah, yeah. I forgot it. The Sloan. Uh, I was supposed to go see Off, but it got canceled because the
Oh man.
drummer got hospitalized. But it's coming back. They rescheduled it for May. So you have Off and Zulu is opening for Off. So
Ooh,
that's going to be coming up
that's
soon.
gonna
That's
be
going to be a good show.
badass, dude.
Yeah,
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 Nice.
that's
Zulu is
Nice.
the Zulu is insane. I love them.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one. Like then we have a summer concert coming up in August in a town not too far from us, a smaller town, and you're gonna have Lagwagon, Pennywise. Sunday's gonna be the hardcore day where they have a bunch of hardcore bands.
Right. Right.
So it should be pretty fun. Yeah,
Oh, fantastic.
yeah,
Fantastic.
mm, yeah, yeah.
And is that a week? Is that a weekend thing then? Is it, or is it a 3 day event thing, like a
Yeah,
festival? Or
that one, the big one, that's an outdoor in the park. So that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday deal. Yeah,
oh, nice, nice.
yeah. So that should be fun. There's a lot of bands on that bill. I think it's was it $120 for the 3 days for which is
Wow,
reasonable.
that's
Yeah, that's
pretty
not
good
bad.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're getting like a bunch of artists on, so that's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's a good deal actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was under $200, I think, for the 3 days, which was pretty good. I thought that was reasonably priced.
That's for the two of you, or is that?
Just one person.
Oh, just well, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's really good actually. That's fine.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of music, what are like? I know you said you liked the Emil and the Sniffers. Is there like a particular style of music you like, or you're pretty eclectic with
Oh,
your
I
taste?
mean, I'll listen to pretty much anything to be honest with
Anything?
you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I guess if I my go-to bands would be the Velvet Undergrounds, Lou
Okay, yeah,
Reed's, you
yeah,
know, Bowie, big Kinks fan, big Ray Davies fan.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll listen to anything. I'll listen to John Denver if need be. If I need to lift my mood a bit, whatever, I don't
yeah,
mind actually. You know.
yeah.
But
Like,
no, a bit of everything actually, a bit of
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
When you're working, when you're drawing, is there like anything that you often draw to, like that you think that just gets the juices flowing and gets you in a rhythm, or yeah,
Oh, yeah, I mean, sometimes Motorhead. I'll listen to Motorhead
Motorhead? Yeah,
drum,
okay,
actually. Um, and I've listened to Fiaga Boys a lot of late, actually, to be
okay,
honest. Like, I know I
yeah,
keep bringing those guys up. I was like, I'm trying
yeah,
to sell them to the public, basically. But
yeah,
yeah, I've been listening to their latest album a lot. But I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well. And I do
yeah,
listen to
okay,
podcasts when I'm working. When I'm
okay,
writing, I usually just listening to classical music or something, just to
okay, yeah,
but
background,
background, yeah. But when I'm drawing, when I'm getting into the drawing, yeah, it's audiobooks
yeah,
and whatever music tickles my fancy, kind of thing.
yeah. I've taken a dip into the audiobooks this year. I started, I signed up to Audible and been
Yeah,
trying that out because at work I
yeah,
can't really, uh, I can't really read anything, so I got to listen to either, like you say, podcast music, or I like to change it up. Mm,
yeah. It's funny. It's something I said I would never really. I didn't think I'd ever get into the audiobooks. I'd rather have a physical copy and read. But but again, sometimes you don't have the time. If you're as you say, if you're working
yeah,
construction or whatever, or with me, if I'm sitting drawing, like it's just at least you're getting that book, you're reading the book, or you're listening to the book, you're getting it into you're getting it in some format, basically, right? So
yeah, 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 yeah. I know a lot of illustrators that a few of them had said they like putting on movies or shows that they've already seen. So then they
Yeah.
hear it, but they can visualize, like they know what happens, so they can see it in their head as they're working. They hear it, so they can follow the beats, and you know, like a few of them have
Yeah,
said,
yeah, I'll do that
yeah,
through some old like TV shows, old horror movies and stuff, and
yeah,
old British sitcoms and whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of that, but I do find sometimes when especially if I'm drawing, I tend if I look up, then I'm lost in the TV
Oh,
show
yeah,
for
you
about an
get
hour.
too yeah,
So
you
I
get
get
too
too
immersed
wrapped up
into it.
in the
Yeah,
visuals or the cinematography, so
yeah.
it's the audiobook's probably a better way to keep me kind of focused in some
Focused.
ways.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of audio dramas out there too, where they act it out, with
Yeah.
sound effects.
Yeah,
They're kind of
yeah.
fun too, actually.
Like the
Because
Sandman
sometimes
series have done that, right?
I
Yeah,
think
they got
I have that, but I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
yeah,
but
that's a
yeah, because
big
some
deal. The audio dramas, like doing it all radio style, that's like made a big comeback. Like there's a big underground for that.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think Marvel did a few books. They put out
Oh,
audio,
really?
like the audio. Yeah, I think they did a Wolverine, a couple Wolverines, and I'm sure they've done more. But a few people have posted stuff about the audio Wolverine Marvel series that they put out. I think you can go on Spotify and find it. You don't even have to go through Audible. Mm.
All right, okay. Yeah, because
Yeah,
sometimes with Audible, with some of the books that are some of the narrators aren't that great. It's like
yeah.
it's
I got one where I didn't. I think I made it. I didn't make it past like third chapter because
right.
it was like sitting through
Putting
like
you to
science.
sleep. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Some kind of science class or
Yeah,
something.
at least with the audio dramas, there's something there to keep you awake, some sound effect or music or something, right? So it
Yeah,
kind of
Got
keeps
Ben
your
Stein
interest.
reading it to you. Oh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, there's this one narrator. I forget his name, but if I go through, I'll recognize it if I see it, and I'm like, oh, he was good. I've listened to a few of his audiobooks, and he had a good intonation. Like he changed his pitch to kind of give it a little more, So yeah, I understand what you mean about the narrators. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's yeah,
tedious.
it
Yeah,
is actually. Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah,
hard to kind of stick with it actually.
yeah. Oh, Harley Quinn has an audio drama. Chris Evans is saying Christina Ricci with Christina Ricci. Huh, that's
Oh,
cool. And they
Oh well.
had. Oh, that's cool. Harley Quinn one. Huh.
Well, if you're
I like.
into I mean, I know you're into horror or whatever, but there's a great old radio drama series that was done by the BBC maybe many years ago called Fear on Four
Mhm.
and Radio 4, Fear on 4. And I think there's about 30 or 40 of them. And I think
Okay.
they're all on YouTube, and they're absolutely phenomenal. I've listened to them time and time again, and
Yeah.
some are better than others, but it's really well acted, and you might even recognize some of the actors actually because they've been in a lot of TV dramas and whatever.
Hmm.
So I would recommend Fear on 4 if anybody's into audio dramas. It's a really good one.
Oh,
It's a
cool.
freebie as well. So
Oh, fantastic. Even better.
yeah. Well, there's a lot on YouTube like that, right? I mean, there's a ton of
Mhm.
stuff available on YouTube that you can just like click on and like a rabbit hole, just get lost.
there's
Mm.
one audio book I listened to on YouTube. It was this British guy reading The King in Yellow. But the my favorite part of it was the comment section because the comments were just full of people visualizing the author like wearing a yellow dress with tentacles coming out from under. Like there was more creativity in the comment section than actually.
Oh, right.
It was like probably one of the greatest things I ever read. So that's
Uh,
my best interaction with an audio book.
yeah.
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 Uh, all right. So, I know you had said you had to take off around 7 o'clock your time. I don't know if we should wrap this up. I don't know if you have to go anywhere. If you want to stick around for a bit longer, it's up to you, Colin. But I don't want to keep you if you had other things to do.
Yeah,
Um,
I can stick around for another 5 6 minutes, but yeah, I'm gonna have
okay. All
to
right.
take off.
Cool. Cool. So I don't know if there's anyone in the chats that had uh, something they want to ask that maybe we didn't touch on, like fire away, because like we said, Colin has a pretty busy schedule, so we don't want to keep him longer than need be.
I got one. He's the
So,
first
yeah.
Canadian we've had on here that hasn't talked about his favorite hockey team. So, like,
Well,
well,
he'll
he's
pro-
not.
he'll probably talk. I don't know. Are you even a sports fan, Colin?
Not really.
There
Okay,
you
Not
go.
fair
really.
enough.
That answers
Yeah.
that.
I can't even go there. Like, I just be, I just, yeah.
There you go. There. That was a quick, short, and easy answer.
Yeah, exactly. I know nothing about hockey, actually.
Yeah. Not even football or anything like
Oh,
that.
well, yeah, I watch a little bit of football now and again, the
Okay.
World Cup and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
Okay.
yeah, not a sporty guy, to be honest
Not a
with you.
big. Yeah. Yeah. See, I used to be big time into sports, but as I've gotten older, I've kind of lost interest. I think it's you get the fanatics, and then I think it's more of a young person's kind of game, unless you're
Well,
like a super sports fan, because as you're younger, you're more involved, and I think a lot of that stuff. I think at least I was, and as you get older, you have maybe your one team you follow, and then the rest just kind of you know you stick with the home team, and then the rest of the stuff you don't really pay attention to.
to be honest, I was never really into sport, even at a young age. It just didn't interest me. I was just locked away in my room, kind of drawing or reading. So it's I had most of my friends were into football and all that kind of stuff, but I just had no real interest.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
probably have more. I probably have more interest now than I did then, and that's
yeah.
still not. That's still not that much, to be honest with you.
No. Oh, of course,
I,
Norton wants to get his hands on something. Either I don't know if he wants to get his hands on a commission or prints but Norton wants to buy some stuff from you. He wants to throw his money at you. Where can
oh
he go to
sure.
get stuff? Yeah.
Well, he can hit me up on Twitter. Just he can just ask me what he wants. So I'll happily help him out. If he
Do you
wants a
have an
commission or if he wants
okay?
a signed comic or something or whatever, I can
Mm.
certainly get that to him. No worries. Yeah, I appreciate Norton's support on Daisy. I mean, I loved reading his reviews every month. It was it
Do
was
you
always
have
fun.
a web store or somewhere where people
I
can
don't
view
have nothing like that. I'm pretty
nothing? Eh?
bad. I'm pretty bad that way, actually. I've been meaning to set up a website for the past 10 years. I just haven't gotten
And
around
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
And every
well,
time somebody mentions it to me, I'm kind of like, yeah, I got to do that, and then
yeah,
I procrastinate and just let it go, basically. But it's
but
something I need to look into, actually. Yeah, for
well, it's
sure,
because you're
for
still
sure.
super busy, right? When you start slowing down, and you want to become semi-retired. That's when you could get that web store
Yeah,
up, and it'll subsidize the income from you just working part time, right? And
but I
slowing
know
down. Yeah,
people do like Patreons and stuff like that.
yeah,
And so a
yeah.
lot of people have suggested I should do like
Live drawing, like
well tutorials and stuff
yeah.
and about storyboards or
Mm,
comics or whatever, and it's a good idea, but I think you're right. It's kind of I'm still kind of too deep into it at this point.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe when things slow down, maybe you're right. Maybe that's a better time to jump into that. But
Well, are you supposed to be doing the storyboards for season 2 of The Last of Us?
um, nothing's been broached as of yet. But
No.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. That probably won't be until who knows. Maybe I know it's been announced.
Yeah,
It could be the
yeah.
end of this year, maybe early next.
Yeah.
Because
Well, we'll
then,
just have to wait and see. Wait and
because
see.
if you get
Absolutely.
the same type of gig, that's a pretty big gig, right? That's you did almost every episode, you said, right? So
Don't
Yeah,
talk him
pretty
out of a merch store.
much. What's that?
Cookie says, "Don't talk him out of
cookies,
a merch store, Joe."
cookies giving me shit.
Yeah.
No, if anybody online wants to DM me or whatever on Twitter or Instagram, just let me
Yeah,
know and I'll try and help you out the best I can. Because
yeah,
I'm always delighted when people ask me for stuff. I'm happy
yeah.
to
Oh, I
accommodate.
would
So.
love to get a print of the what I made the thumbnail for this video of the EC Comics
Oh,
sci-fi cover
sure,
you
yeah,
did. That
I
was
can do
just
that.
so gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was fun. That was for Riverdale. That was for the TV show Riverdale.
Mm,
Okay.
mhm.
They were doing a flashback or something, and they built this entire comic store, and they needed to fill it with pretend comics. So
Mm.
I did about 20 covers, like EC style
Wow,
covers, and
wow.
about 10, 15, 20 pages of comic book as well. So I think it's season 7. I don't think it's actually out yet. I don't know what episode it's going to be part of, but
Wow, you should
which
almost print that. You should almost find a deal and print out the covers with the short
Yeah.
stories you did for that. That'd
yeah,
be
I mean,
cool.
yeah, I mean, I did another one for oh God, what's it called? TV show, kids TV show. Don't be afraid of the. Is it Don't Be Afraid of the Dark? It is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Same thing. I did like a comic strip for that with covers, and they actually gave me a script for that and everything. And
Yeah.
it would be fun to do something with that. I mean, that's the thing about with film work is that it just remains in your hard drive. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you put it on Twitter, you show it off on Facebook or whatever, but nobody really gets to see it. I mean, even with The Last of Us, I mean, I'm somebody said to me I should really think about doing an art book
Yeah.
for the storyboards. Uh,
Storyboards, maybe some of the stuff you worked on for the video game as well, like the
yeah,
original concept stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's something that because I got to put a lot of time into the gaming stuff, or I haven't put a lot of
Hmm.
time into the gaming stuff. And that's tons of work. So it would be nice to get that out somehow. So something I do need to look into.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of that stuff would have to be non-profit too. So I mean, I don't even know how you'd go about that.
Exactly. Yeah, because of the licensing and all that
Exactly,
stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
the royalties and.
And that's why I was thinking maybe a Patreon or some sort of tutorial, or at least people are getting to see it. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. We'll see. We'll figure
Yeah.
something out. But
Yeah.
but yeah, there's just so much. Even the Peacemaker stuff and
Mm-hmm.
just other shows I worked on over the years. It would be nice because there's nothing quite like a nice hard copy, like a book that you can kind of. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
a fan like everybody else. I love buying art of books.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of my big things since I was a kid, and it would be nice to get something like that of the storyboards and the illustrations out there actually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I know.
it's a difficult one
Yeah. I
to
know
figure out
Norton's a
how to
huge
do.
fan of art books. He buys
Yeah,
quite a few of those. Yeah.
I mean, there might be it's been such a success. There might be a The Last of Us art book. I would think maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Is Chris Evans a lawyer or
Yeah.
What's that? What did you
he's
say?
he's
Yeah.
finding a loophole?
Yeah, maybe you could charge for a signature and give the book for free.
Oh wow.
It's a $30 signature, but you get this rad book with it.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Maybe I could do the book like a commentary kind of thing where I'm commenting on the work itself, and I don't know, but yeah, he might be onto something there actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I give
Good
away a
one.
free. That's a good one actually. Maybe I give away
Yeah.
a free sketch or something and then charge $50. Thank you,
Like
Christopher.
wink, wink. You know,
I'll
like
talk to
yeah, I'm
my lawyer
charging.
about that. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm sure there is somewhere around it actually,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but there's been so many boards over the years with so many like Disney and Nickelodeon and all these other companies that
Yeah.
to put all that into one book, there's just so much,
So much. Yeah.
so much red tape, right? So
Yeah. So they'd chew away all the profits, probably just all the lawyer fees and stuff, just to get all that sorted.
and the truth is, I can't even get around to getting the website put up. So trying to put a book together could take me the rest of my life, actually. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, just serious. If anybody wants to hit me up for anything, just let me know.
Yeah. So let's plug your socials because you're a great follow. You post a lot of art
Yes.
on Instagram and Twitter as well. You're actually pretty good with your Twitter. Not all artists are. A lot of artists
Yeah,
are just Instagram people, but I've seen you pretty faithful to your Twitter as well.
yeah.
But Instagram, yeah,
I probably don't do as much social media as I should. I mean, I'll kind of skip out for like a month and then come back in and put something up. But yeah, I mean, it's it's something that my son keeps telling me that I need to, promote myself more and get myself out there. But it's just something that
Well,
I
how old
don't
is your
know.
son?
My son's 23.
He's
Yeah.
too old then. I was like, just have him like if he was younger. Your allowance is you're gonna be my social
Yeah.
social
That, that,
media.
that
You
was
know,
that was my plan, but I think he would just kind of shrug that stuff off and give me a dirty look, kind of thing. Do
yeah.
it yourself.
Now, yeah,
You're my unpaid intern.
yeah, that's
Exactly,
it.
exactly. Pay me, pay me.
Hmm.
No, he's been good. He's done some like some promo stuff. He did like the teaser for Daisy and the teaser for The Hunt, little animated
Okay.
little yeah, and actually he was going through some of The Last of Us stuff. He was
Hmm.
doing like animatics of some of the boards
Okay.
because I did that. I can't remember. I think the episode was episode 5, and it's the arrival of the bloater when the bloater comes
Okay.
and they have that big massive battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I boarded that entire scene. Like there's about 100, 120, 150 pages of storyboard,
Mm.
and I think it's some he had started into it, like putting it together,
Okay.
as an automatic with sound effects and all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but then I thought, well, maybe Naughty Dog and Sony might be too happy about me. So I need to look into that. But
Mhm.
that's another thing that I would like to put out there too. Actually, is put together the boards as automatics, as little movies, because I see a lot of board guys doing that.
Yeah. That'd be
And
cool. Yeah, because it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
almost like a flip book, right? You just and
Exactly,
it'll,
exactly,
yeah, you
exactly.
see the scene by
And
scene.
fans love that stuff, seeing like how it might differ a
The
little bit from what
process.
was actually shot.
Yeah. People love process stuff, right? So
Yeah, it's funny.
eat it
There's a
up.
quite a bit of the Last of Us stuff. Episode 3, Druckmann's was pretty close to the boards, and of course, I mean, a lot of times it veered away, quite a bit away from them. Actually, it was just the basic idea and somewhere to like a starting point. And I think with that battle scene as well, there was a heck of a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of other really violent acts that took place that were obviously cut for time reasons, I guess.
Hmm.
But so it would almost be like the director's cut, the director's cut, I suppose.
Yeah, that would be
Seeing this
cool.
kind of comic book animatic almost. So
Mm.
yeah, it'd be interesting to look into that.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Yeah.
see Jock's, the artist Jock's Judge Dredd book, Making of Dredd
I've seen snippets.
storyboards?
Yeah, I've seen what he's posted on social media.
Yeah, it's really nice. They released a book, and
Mhm.
they turned the storyboards into like a India comic book with speech bubbles and all this sort of stuff. So it's been. I mean, I'm a big fan of Jock as well. And it's a beautiful
Yeah,
book,
he's
absolutely
incredible.
beautiful.
Mm.
Really good artist. One of my favorites. So yeah, it's something I need to look into. But again, there's just so many permissions and.
Mhm.
But I shouldn't let that stop me. I think your friend there saying about the signature. That's
It's clever. Yeah.
something to think about actually.
Yeah.
So I don't get sued into oblivion, basically.
Yeah. Then you won't be able to retire.
And
End up
I
like
won't.
Nicolas Cage doing straight to video comics and stuff.
Yeah, they won't hire me for season 2 either. I guess if I do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, looking forward to anything you put out. Love everything you do. I love all the stuff you post. So people go follow Colin. It's Colin_Lorimer, I think,
I think so. Yeah.
on socials. So go follow Colin. He, like you said, you're probably quiet for a bit, but then you come out with a barrage of stuff, which is great. So
Yeah. I mean,
like,
sometimes I have to hold off on posting stuff for obvious reasons,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah. But yeah, great follow. I love like what last year you did some Christmas illustrations you
oh,
posted
right.
like with holiday themed stuff. Then you were doing some zombie stuff. The Greaser 50s zombie
Yeah,
thing.
that's all related to the Riverdale
The
stuff,
Riverdale
actually. Yeah,
stuff.
that's all the
Yeah.
Riverdale stuff,
Yeah,
actually.
you
So
started
yeah,
you started posting some of that stuff, which
I
I
did.
really
I
dug.
did.
It was good. Yeah,
I
I like
did.
that. It was good stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Well, no, and thanks for having me on. It's really nice to chat with you, and we should
Hey,
do it again sometime. Actually,
yeah,
maybe when the next book's ready to hit, we
out
can
definitely.
yeah,
Thanks
definitely.
for
we can
Yeah,
coming
chat
on.
again.
We
yeah.
really appreciate it. We love your work, so it was fantastic to
And
have you
thanks for
on.
being as cool as your work is, man. Like it
I
was really a
appreciate
pleasure
that.
to talk with you,
Likewise,
man, and to
likewise,
meet you.
likewise. I'm glad I didn't stutter and fumble too much. It's my first podcast, so
Yeah, first. Hey,
Yeah,
we get a
there
lot of
you
firsts.
go.
So yeah,
Yeah, so thank you.
yeah. Well, thank
And
you. We appreciate you taking the time to come out here.
yeah,
Uh,
sure.
I'm sure Norton, Cookie, Chris, all the other people who probably will catch it on the rewatch appreciate you coming out and sharing your work, your thoughts, just hanging out and chatting with us. Like, I
No,
mean,
definitely,
the
definitely. No, we
fans
should we
fans
should
love
we
it.
should we should definitely do it again. We should
Yeah,
definitely do it again
it's a
for sure.
date.
All
yeah,
right. Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and
Yeah, you
I'll
too.
speak to you again soon.
All right,
Yeah.
have a good one,
Thanks,
Colin. Nice
Johnny.
meeting
Thanks,
you,
Joe.
sir.
Nice meeting you too. Bye now. Bye, everybody. Bye bye.
Well, how rad was that? What a great
That
dude.
was
That was
that was awesome.
so. Yeah,
Fantastic.
we will be back on Friday. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing because we were gonna have another guest on, but like he can't make it. So we'll probably maybe do the Dark Horse thing this week that we were gonna do last week. Maybe not quite
Maybe
sure,
we'll see. We'll see.
but we might just do a movie episode. Maybe we'll watch something like find something as good as Deadly Friend. I don't think anything will be that good ever again though. But
No. Well, it had its moments, right?
but yeah, until Friday, we'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.
Have a good week, everyone.